Use the reminder email category type to give email recipients notice of upcoming events or deadlines, such as registration deadline, training approval reminder, and session start date. Reminder emails, depending on how they are configured, will trigger before or after a specific date or action and can be sent to a variety of users, including the trainee, manager, or assignee. Let's take a closer look at the training is due email trigger. This example is how Lisa, an administrator, can configure a variety of reminder emails associated for that one email trigger to achieve her communication goals. Lisa needs to remind registered users 3 days before the due date that they have training due in 3 days. She also needs to remind them on the actual due date that training is due today. For the users that don't complete the training, Lisa wants to send an email to the user's manager letting them know that their employee has training that is overdue by 7 days. Lisa will create 3 separate emails for the training is due email trigger. The first email would be configured to be sent 3 days before the event date to the student. The second email will be configured to be sent to the student 0 days before the event date. The final email will be configured to be sent to the user's manager 7 days after the event date. In each case, the due date is the event date. Let's now examine how best to leverage the roster submission email trigger. After an instructor-led training session is over, an admin or instructor needs to submit the roster, so users' transcripts are updated to reflect their completion of the training. With this trigger, you can set a condition so that the email is only triggered when the student's status is changed to a specific status. For example, you have a session that has a required evaluation. To prevent users that were marked as no-shows or incomplete when the roster is submitted from receiving an email reminding them to complete their evaluation, you can set the condition so that the email would only be sent to those users in the status of pending evaluation. On the email administration page, you can enter roster in your search text. After expanding the action, you can use the options column to edit the email. In the first section, add general information like a title and an email where responses should be directed, and choose the type of email you want to send. In this case, we're configuring a reminder email. Entering the specifics defining when the email should trigger. In this case, it would only be sometime after the action, which is after the roster is submitted. Next, you'll add your conditions. For instance, student.transcript.status equals transcript.status.open bracket pending evaluation closed bracket. Next, decide who should receive the email and what you want to say. Once all fields and the message have been defined, click Save.